back at it. This is just a final saturator. It's a very nice plugin. This it's just a saturation knob by Softube, and the reason I'm putting this on my final mix bus, my overall mix bus, is to add a little bit of that low noise that you would find from all of the analog gear that we used. Just a little bit of extra here on the mix bus to replicate all the build up from the analog from the analog pieces of equipment that we would find in that process. So the difference is as follows. So this is actually without, and then I'll let it kick in so you can hear the difference.
When you're out, my mind won't stop. I don't stray far from the phone. My bones won't rest. Is this a test?
Right, so as you can hear, it just gives it that little bit more life, a little bit more warmth. And then finally, we have a few plugins here, a few final summing mixers and summing compressors. And this is also by Slate Digital. This is actually the virtual mix rack with all these little pieces that you can add into the signal chain. But what we are using firstly is the London, and what we'll do is we'll just bypass this so you can hear what that sounds like, and then we'll kind of talk about it later. I'll let it kick in so you can hear the difference, and then we'll talk about it after. So this is without.
When you're out, my mind won't stop. I don't stray far from the phone. My bones won't rest. Is this a test?
Right, now I'll just talk about basically the reason I chose some of these. As on most very high-end, very expensive mixing desks, they have very expensive preamp systems, and especially on the final mix buses that you would export and use, that you would send off to the mastering engineer. When they pass through those preamps, I wanted to replicate that high-end kind of British tone that you would find either in Abbey Road Studios, you know, the Beatles that recorded there, or even a lot of those British great preamps that just adds a lot of life, a lot of power, especially in that mid-range, and makes it stand out a bit more. And then finally, just to get everything sitting nicely, we used the Monster, which is an extreme dynamic processor, which I'm just using as a summing kind of dynamic processor to get everything gluing. It's a final glue, get everything sitting right, and just to add that overall really nice, warm, and powerful mix.